chapter, you will find the author Anees Jan. She has written about the deprived children of the poverty areas. Now, before we start our chapter, let us discuss something, let us do something about the author. The author Anees Jan, she was born in Rourkela and then she shifted to Hyderabad where she completed her childhood and adolescence period. She was a great writer. Her parents were also writer. She was an editor, columnist in India. This Lost Spring is an excerpt. Excerpt means it's a short writing taken from the book Lost Spring. It is the story, the part is the stolen childhood. From there this short writing is taken, which is based on the poverty and traditions which are condemning the life of our kids who are living in severe poverty condition. This story was published in 2005 and it was on some deprived kids. Now let us start our chapter. Before we start our lesson, let us discuss about the main characters of the lesson. They are the author herself, Sahib Alam. He was a young boy who was a rag picker, and Mukesh, who is another story character. He is a boy from a bangle maker family. Now, when the story is starting, the author is meeting Sahib Alam, this boy with whom she encounters, and asked him that why he came to India. In answer, he said that he left Bangladesh, which was, according to his mother, swept away. The fields and the houses were swept away due to heavy storm. You know, children, that that country Bangladesh is situated in such area where heavy storms and heavy rainfall comes every year and it spoils everything. So it happened with this boy also, Sahib Alam, and that is why he shifted to a big city named as Delhi in India to earn something. When she asked him why he shifted here, so he said that he shifted here in search of gold. Here, in search of gold does not mean only gold, but for them it was anything for survival. It could be the food, the clothes, the house, anything to gold. So he said that they have shifted to Delhi in search of the gold. The author asks why he scrouges. Scrouges means keeps on searching the garbage. He was a rag picker, and you know what the rag pickers do. Many times you must have seen that small kids, they are searching something in the garbage. Those people are called as rag pickers. So he was also a rag picker, and he kept on searching in the garbage. So she asked him that what you are searching in the garbage and why you are scrounging, why you are searching. The boy answers very smartly to the author that because he has nothing else to do. He is not going to school like you people. He doesn't have anything else, any other job to do. And that is why this is the only thing what he is doing, he answers. Listening to this, she advises to Sahib Alam that why don't you go to school? So Sahib Alam replied that he does not have any school in his neighborhood. Listening to that, the author was very much surprised. She said that, okay, if I open a school, if I start a school, would you like to join? Would you like to come to the school? But she knew it. When she was speaking to Sahib Alam this, she knew very well that it was a false promise she was making. Meets the author and he asks that whether she has opened the school. She feels very embarrassed because it was a false promise what she had made. He had many unfulfilled dreams. So Sahib Alam, he had hardly anything to do with the school. It was another dream which was going to be unfulfilled. When the author asked him that what is the meaning of his name, he did not know. Then she made him realize that the meaning of his name was the Lord of the Universe. But was he? So it was very inappropriate name. This name was not at all fitting to him. He sees him roaming here and there around barefoot with many boys. When she asked about his chappals, he as well as another boy gives very tricky answers, like he did not like to wear chappals. Another one said that his chappals or shoes are on the shelf which his mother is not giving to him. One more said that he did not like to wear it because it was beyond their tradition. It was not their tradition to wear the chappals. So these were all different answers to hide their unending poverty and to explain their perpetual state of poverty, means extreme state of poverty. There was another boy whom the author met. He was a boy of a priest whom she saw that every day he used to stand in front of the temple and wished the god to give him a pair of shoes which could not be fulfilled as he needed it badly. As the time went, then one day again when the author was passing from that priest's nearby the priest's home, she found that time has changed. Now that priest house, another young boy was there who was wearing his socks, his shoes, dressing up himself. So she came to the conclusion that yes, the time is changing. The standard of living of these people is also increasing. But at the same time, that boy also prayed God not to lose the shoes because he understood the value of it. Again, coming back to the rag picker, that was Sahib Alam. He was shifted from Bangladesh to a big city like Delhi in an area called Simapuri. In this Simapuri area, it was a miserable area. A severe wilderness you can see there. Lots of garbage were thrown here and there. They did not have any sanitation. They did not have any water supply. They did not have any sewage facility. Nothing was there. But still, the area was so congested. Nearly about 10,000 rag pickers, they were residing in that area. These people had no identity, no identification, no identity card, no permits from the government, nothing. But still they were happy because they had, the only thing was a ration card with the help of which they could get food to fill their stomach. And while cooking, when she asked the mothers of these rag pickers that are they satisfied, their answer was simple that yes, because it is more satisfactory to remain asleep at night without the aching stomach. It was more important for them that their kids are sleeping without hunger in their stomach. Sahib was standing outside many a times the tennis court because he liked the tennis very much and he used to see there. So when the author asked him that why he was standing outside, he said that he liked tennis and that is why he remained there. Sometimes whenever the tennis court was empty, the guard used to give him permission to go inside and swing there. So he used to do that. One day the author saw that he was wearing some tennis shoes. When she asked him that from where he got it, he said that some of the tennis player had given him. But when the author saw the tennis shoes of Sahib Alam, she found that they were torn. So she could understand that some of the boy must have thrown it in the garbage and from the garbage only he would have taken it. So she understood but she did not say anything to Sahib. After some days, Sahib gets a job in a tea stall where he was always carrying a milk canister. Milk canister is a milk can. And it was not so heavy but he felt it very heavy because now he was working, serving in tea stall. It is a different thing that he was earning money for his family and they were getting sufficient food to eat, but at the same time he lost his carefree look. He lost his freedom. In this you will find the character is Mukesh, who is belonging to a bangle maker family from Firozabad. He wanted to be a self-owner, although he lived in such a family where nobody could think of other than bangle making profession. He had his own dream. You know that everybody has his own dream. So he also had his own dream to drive his own car, to be a self-owner, to be a motor mechanic. but his dream seemed to be a mirage. Mirage means that it seems to be there, but it is not there. So his dream was there, but it was very difficult for him to reach to that, to fulfill that dream. He knew nothing about the cars. When the author asked him that, do you know anything about the cars? He simply said that, no, I don't know. But at the same time, he had a spark in his eyes. What was that spark? That spark was of his firm determination that he would do anything to complete his dream, to fulfill his dream. These all families who lived there, they belonged to the glass bangle families, means the member of their families, more of their members were involved in the glass making, bangle glass making factories. These glass bangle making factories had all the children, most of the workers were children, which was not at all good for the children's part. But these factories had some very lots of drawback, that is they threw dust in the whole city, and you can imagine if the factories are spreading dust in the city, how much it is badly affecting those children, those who are working in the hot furnaces of the bangle making factories. So it harms the children physically, which the families did not understand. They did not understand that what is the harm, what they are harming, how they are harming their children. But what they want was the money which was filling their stomach. So more and more people were engaged in the glass making factories, glass bangle making factories. They did not know it was illegal. The author said that it was illegal, but these families did not understand that why it was illegal. When the author went to Mukesh's house, once it so happened that Mukesh said to the author that let us go to his house, and he was very happy to take author to his house. When she went there, she saw that it was again stinking because the garbage was thrown here and there. The roof was not proper. It was very shaggy. So when she entered, she was feeling ashamed. She was feeling something not good to enter there. But Mukesh was very happy to take author over there. As he was showing his house, she saw that his elder brother's wife, she was cooking something at some corner, and the other members were there. She had talked with his grandmother. What his grandmother said, you know, his grandmother said that this bangle making is their profession, is the profession which is their karma, or karma means their destiny, and it is bestowed job from God. It is the lineage which the God has given, and it is unbroken. They cannot go out of this profession. This is fixed profession by the God himself. So it was the answer which was given by the grandmother. But the family members, they never understood that this profession badly affected the children's eyes. When they grew as an adult, they lost their vision, they were blind, something like that. The young girls in the family, she found they were making very nicely the bangles. All the colorful bangle bits were surrounded at the home, and they were very with a very nice colorful cloth. They were sitting and they were making the bangles, but they did not understand its consequences. In spite of understanding the consequences of it, it was told to the girls that when they will grow up, it will be the marriage tradition. It's a pride, it's a matter of pride that they are making these bangles, and these bangles are used in the auspicious occasions. So they felt the pride, they were made to feel the pride of making the bangles. So the young girls were also involved in making the bangles at their home. So when the grandfather was there, then he also felt very satisfied that yes, I have trained my family members my profession of glass bangle making. So he was very contented that he has taught his people, his members, something which will earn them money, and they don't have to sleep empty stomach. So he was satisfied. But when again she asked some more conversation, author did with the grandmother had a complaint that although this profession is the God-given profession to them, destiny to them. But throughout her life, she complained that she never slept with a full stomach. She had always eaten half stomach. So it was not this profession she understood, and she complained that this profession never gave her that much food that could fill her stomach or her family members' stomach. Asked Mukesh and his family that why don't they get united and fight against this and try for something to fulfill their and his family members, that why don't they get united and they fight with the people, those who are forcing them to remain in that condition only. Why don't they try to fulfill their dream? At that time the reply which she got was quite surprising for them, that those people were afraid of getting hit or putting in the prison by the lawmakers. Who were these lawmakers? These lawmakers were the police and the middlemen. They were not allowing these people to leave their job, to leave their profession and to go anywhere else. So they were forced, the boys were forced to work and don't allow them to fulfill their dreams. It is very shameful for all of us that in India, still today, many children, they don't get chance to get the education or to fulfill their dreams only due to the monetary terms, or because of some people who are forcing them. They are forcing them for their selfish motto, not allowing them to complete their dreams. But Mukesh was very firm about his dream. He knew that what he had to do. He was ready to do anything. He was ready to go and learn motor driving at a far distance from his house. But he was firm. And you know that this firmness, this willingness is very necessary to complete your dream. So Mukesh had that firmness and he wanted to complete his dream, and he was very much firm about it, determined about it. When the author asked him, why do you want to become a motor mechanic? Why don't you try to fly an aeroplane? Then he replied that no, he did not want to fly aeroplane. Then she asked him why he didn't want to fly airplane, only he wanted to become the motor mechanic. His answer was very simple and very honest answer, that flying airplane is not his passion, because he has hardly seen the planes over his city, but he had seen lots of cars surrounding him. So he wanted to become a motor mechanic only. So children, students, you have seen that these two parts, in these two parts we have come across the two characters, Sahib-e-Alam and Mukesh. Both are from those areas, those level, those group which are underprivileged, or we can say that they don't have that much facilities, but still they have some dream. Where we have seen that Sahib-e-Alam, whatever condition it is, he is happy. He is happy with his situation. And another story we have seen Mukesh. We have seen here about his firmness, about his determination. So both the things are teaching us something about the life which would make us successful. Thank you very much.